All right, I'm recording. Here we go. Game time, y'all. Guys, I'm excited. We are on phase 5 of 5. This is the last chairman boot camp call for the week. Keyword for the week. We have some amazing things planned. To start this off, I just want to go over a couple things. There's a lot of my phone's blowing up, so I'm just going to turn my phone upside down. If someone needs to contact me over the next hour, I'm most likely just not going to respond. But a lot of stuff's been going on. A lot of things are happening, and I really want to express. I'm talking in the leadership chat, and Matt Rosa, he just said, I just bought another 10K worth of Bitcoin, right? Waiting for it to drop some more so I can drop another 10K in it. And I responded, congratulations on your 300% return. It's funny, we're having these conversations, and I said a statement in there. Let me pull it up so I said it. I'll say it right. And I said, where am I here? I said, we are so blessed to have access to this information and have the financial ability to participate. Guys, we are really, really blessed. Even when everything around us seems like it's going absolutely insane. The world is crashing. People are freaking out. We're buying toilet paper. We're buying water bottles that give you cancer anyways. We're doing all these different things, right? We are living in an abundant mindset. Everything is perfectly fine. Actually, everything's great. It's better than great. We have so many opportunities. I had a conversation today. I'm just going to give the good example. I was with Michael. I was talking to one of his family members, and I was just saying, we literally have the we're not screwed. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. And speaking to him and hearing him and listening to it from a different perspective, being from a different generation, people who are older than us, right? And there's people that are older than me. I'm 25. I'm talking people a little bit older who didn't really grow up in the millennial ages. They're looking back and saying, damn, like, I wish I had access to what you have access to. Because think about the people that are losing their jobs. Everyone in the NBA, in the NFL, not the NFL, NHL, in the MLB. Think about the banks that are shutting down. Think about the schools that are shutting down. People that are paid hourly right now are out of an income. Within 48 hours, we've lost all quote unquote freedom. We've lost all freedom. In a click, literally just from a couple statements, right? And I think what's so cool about what we have is it doesn't affect us at all. All it does is makes our business grow, and it makes our accounts look a little bit healthier, right? That is it. And so I think we are just so blessed, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of something like this, right? Because if we're selling, like, for example, we're selling CBD or something, right? And now people are like, oh, well, I don't have the money to purchase that anymore. I got to be careful, right? In this situation, we're literally teaching people how to take their small amount of money and turn it into an abundance of money, right? If you just follow the blueprint. And so I'm just super excited. I don't really think I can put it in proper words, but I hope you can feel it. And if you guys can feel it, really just take some time, whether it's right now or it's after this call or it's while you're traveling to New York, to just be grateful. Be grateful to know what you know, to be with the people that you're with, because the future is bright, right? The future is very, very bright. It's insane. When I look at, I had an amazing 40-minute conversation today and with someone, and I was just telling them, like, man, like, by the end of this decade, I honestly can't put into words what I'm going to accomplish. I don't know. Like, it's going to be something that it breaks all limits. It literally is something that people thought that couldn't be done. We're 3 months into the decade, and look what's happening, right? Look what's happening. We are just so blessed. So if you guys are feeling blessed, if you guys are feeling grateful, drop I am blessed, I am grateful, I am abundant. Whatever your I am affirmation is, drop something in that. Send me some energy. Get me feeling all good, because I'm about to go off. Perfect. See them in the chat. And I'm excited, guys. So another big thing, let me give you a quick update before we get started. Obviously, yes, the New York convention is canceled. It's not canceled fully. There's going to be a Zoom webinar from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. every single keynote speaker is going to be speaking. So you're going to be getting webinars from Jason Brown. You're going to be getting webinars from Matt Rosa. You're going to be getting webinars from Brandon Boyd. You're going to be getting webinars for literally, what is that? 11 hours, 7 plus 3, what is that? 10 hours for 10 hours straight. Literally for 10 hours straight. You are going to be getting sauced up by the greatest in the industry. And it's really exciting to me to see how leaders are handling this because, you know, the first thing I thought of when they canceled it, I was a little bit sad. Where I was like, oh, fuck, man, that sucks. We have so many people coming. There's not even our team, like just from around the freaking world. There's so many different individuals that are going to this event that's literally, it's going to change their business. It's going to change their life. It's going to change their financial situation. And, you know, I was like, damn, this sucks. But then I was like, hold on a second. They're going to do something to make this turn into a positive. And if they're doing the event in June, what does that mean? We now have two things to run towards. We now have two things to run towards. Not only now is there the Miami Platinum 2000 retreat, now we have another regional. So you're going to not only go to a retreat to celebrate your achievement, but then be able to walk across stage at the regional and bring 1,000 minimum of the 1,000 plus people that we're about to involve into Quantum Creations and I Am Mastery Academy. It couldn't be better, right? This is how you have to think, guys, because if we just get down and just like, oh, well, damn, the corona got us, man. We're screwed, right? The corona got us, and you're just negative. You're only going to foster negative things, right? But if you stay excited, you stay in that blessed, abundant, determined, focused, attentive mindset, everything's going to work into your favor. Everything's going to work into your favor. And so I don't know which one's first because I don't know the dates yet. That will probably come out in the next 30 to 45 days. But a couple people are asking me as well. And sorry, I'm taking some time on this just to, you know, get you guys some information here. Some people were asking about tickets. If you won't be able to go in June, the tickets will be, I don't believe they'll be refundable, but we'll be able to sell them, right? People will buy them because new people are going to join the team. Therefore, people are going to want to go. Therefore, you'll get your tickets sold. So don't worry about any of that. Everything's being handled. Just give us, you know, some time to get those things moving. So let's really jump into this and get into the nitty gritty. I'm super excited. I wish I could just talk about this weekend forever, but, you know, we'll all be together and we'll talk about that. I just really want to review a couple of the things that we went over. You know, I'm not going to talk about a lot tonight. The second person who's going to be speaking, our very own Jordan Morgan, the individual that created the original crypto and Forex Academy, created Go Live. Like this guy's hopping on and going to be doing advanced top-down analysis for us, breaking down institutional trading. And if you guys seen him on, you know, obviously Go Live, you have an amazing opportunity to ask questions that are going to take your trading to the next level. So I'm super excited about that. I really want to take no time away from him. So mine's going to be super quick, but let's just recap. Why did we do this call, right? We're going to go through this all again, and what I'll talk about later is super simple. So why did we go through this call? You know, we did this Chairman Bootcamp because of the awareness of timing, the awareness of where we're currently at in this place and time, understanding how powerful and how lucky we are to have the next 6 months going all in with I Am Mastery Academy. We understand now that when you get a large group of people to one location and you put them in an atmosphere where it literally just completely changes and shifts their paradigms, it stretches the way they think and makes them believe in what's actually possible, it makes amazing things happen. So we started this Chairman Bootcamp because we understand that in March, we are going to put 1,000 new traders into QC, 1,000 new traders into QC. And I'm not going to say, oh, well, a minimum of 750. No, that's not my reality. My reality is 1,000 new people in QC. My guy are signing up a person a day right now. We're just on fire. So I know once I start going through my list, and I've got a little, you know, little bird in my ear that Matt and Jason are going to be running a shit ton of op calls with us. Let me tell you, 1,000 people is the minimum. And so we did this because we were aware of what the next 6 months is going to be like. The most important thing that you can do is become aware of it yourself. Become aware of it yourself. Where are you at now? And what do you want to come out of this weekend? Where are you at now? And what do you want to come out of this weekend? Whether you're going to be in New York, you're going to be at the Airbnb, or you're going to be at your house, you're getting access to the trainings. Whether you bought a ticket or not, you're getting access to the trainings, right? So what's going to happen here is, what do you want to learn? What do you need to know to go that next level? Figure that out. Where do you want to be by the end of March? Are you or are you not going to be at the Platinum 2000 retreat in June? And from Platinum 2000, where are you going to walk across stage? In Houston. Where are you going to walk across stage in Houston? Now, the easiest way to achieve these goals is to understand how many people you have to help to get there. This is the easiest way to achieve this goal, is understanding how many people you need to help to get there, right? So if you want to be P2K by June, you need to understand that you're most likely going to need to create 3 Platinum 1000s. You will most likely have to create 9 P600s. You'll most likely have to create 27 P150s. So when you have these goals, make sure you understand everything. Do you know the exact amount of money you're going to make? Do you know the exact amount of group volume that you need to make? Do you know how much money you have to generate the company in order to earn that kind of money? Figure out every little detail. The same way as when you're searching for a car, or you're searching for an apartment, or you're searching for a dog, or you know every little detail of what you want. When you want to cook a meal, you just don't start throwing shit together. Now, sometimes you do, and sometimes it turns out good. Sometimes you're like, well, I'm just going to order a pizza, right? You have an ingredient list. Find out what your ingredient list is to get the outcome that you desire. So find your ingredient list. I just made that off the top of my head. That was savage. I love it. So becoming aware, right? Becoming aware. Then right after that, we had Alex Morin. And if that just doesn't increase your level of belief that Alex is paying attention to what we're doing, I really don't know what else will. I really don't know what else will. Maybe the call is still on Saturday. But then on Monday, we talked about properly launching, right? We talked a lot about how to launch a trader. And one of the calls I had today, I had a launch call today, and I was telling this individual, I love our system, and I love the way that we do this, because at the end of the day, whether you're a trader or you're a builder or you want to do both, you have to go through our course. I said, I won't help you build if you don't go through our course, because I need you to know what you have. Because when you know what you have and you are aware of what you have, building becomes so much easier. And it was just a mind, I could tell it was just, there was just this clicking moment where it was so cool to me, where we could take both worlds, bring them together, and using the community that we have, go next level, right? And that's why the trade house is so powerful. That's why our trading schedule is so powerful. That's why we retain so well. Is because when people truly understand what they have, when they're truly plugged in, you can do anything, right? Then on Tuesday, we went over making a list, the power of having a list, organizing your list, whether you have influence over those people, they're equal influence to you, or they have influence over you. You learned exactly how to invite them. You learned my favorite question, the can I get your opinion question, right? Hey, Ryan, I have a lot of respect for you, and I know you've always had my best interest in mind. I'm actually going to a seminar on Saturday, and I'm really excited about it, but I want to get your opinion on it, because if it's something that you like, I know that I can do amazing in this, right? The opinion question, you can change it up however you want. You can do it for a call. You can do it for, I do it for videos. You can do it for the opinion question is game changing, right? The accepting that you have influence. Yo, Ryan, bro, watch this video really quick. Why? Because you and I are going to make a lot of money. That's why. I'm going to call you in 15 minutes, okay? Dope. you know, you now have confidence to be able to do that with the people that you're capable of doing that with. And you decide who you're capable of doing that with. You learned about PS3, piquing the interest, using a tool or a resource, whether it's whytradingworks.com or it's, the weekly webinars, or it's an event, sharing the plan and then leveraging, edifying, and using a three-way party to close. Because remember, closing isn't a bad thing. I don't feel weird when I say I'm about to go close someone, right? Because when I go close someone, I'm literally just giving them the little push in the butt, right? To actually go forward and do what they're actually capable of doing with their life. To me, I don't feel bad closing someone, because when I close you, that means you believe in yourself. Think of it like that, because you won't do this if you don't believe in yourself. Let's be honest. At 18 years old, you've already gone through at least 12 years of programming, minimum, right? So if you don't believe, and not only in yourself, and not only in the person that's speaking to you, you're not going to get started with this. So to me, closing is just believing. That's what I'm doing, right? And I understand that. Now we went over institutional basics. On Wednesday, we had an amazing opportunity call. Mike and I were able to get 2 people closed from that call. I hope that call helped with your business, helped with your potential future millionaires. And then we had the Next Wave mentorship. We went off for like an hour and 40 minutes. That was a blast. That was a blessing. That was something that I was extremely excited about. And I hope that you guys massively enjoyed it as well. So that's a little bit of the review. No, this training is for everybody. So this is for like the whole entire team. This is just the Chairman Bootcamp. Remember, this call, and let me give you a backstory to this again, just so you guys can remember and understand why we got the number 1,000. We just didn't make up 1,000 as like okay, cool, we put 1,000 people and we smashed Chairman 25. No, like we logically put 1,000 as a number, like did the math. It made sense mathematically doing it, right? So breaking this down, why we did the Chairman Bootcamp, and then I'm going to jump right into this because I only got 40 minutes and y'all know how I am, right? So why we did this was because in I Am Dallas, we brought 90 people to the convention, right? And this is probably, oh, Tim, I've heard this story, but you got to get this story. Get this story, because this is what's going to happen to your business when you bring 20, 30, 50, 100, 250 people. Cash Cartier, I think, is bringing around 450 people to New York. Do you know what's going to happen to his business? Our team is bringing 150. I believe Drake's team is bringing close to 250. And Luke Longmire's team is bringing close to 100, 150. 450 to 500 people is going to the convention, right? That's Chairman 50. That is Chairman 50. That's probably Chairman 100. Just being honest, or getting damn near close to it, right? So what happened was we brought 90 people and our business went from 225 to 7, whatever it was. We got 495. I can't do math anymore. 225 plus 495. It went to 720, guys. You don't have to do math to be smart, right? It went to 720. So if we take 495 and we divide that by 90, that gives us 5.5 people. My personal opinion is that for every person you bring to an event, they will sign 3 to 5 people on average. Some will do less, some will do more, some will double, right? 3 to 5 people within 2 weeks of that convention. That is my personal belief. It's what David Amitié believes in. It's what Jason Brown believes in. And it's something that I personally believe in because I've seen it event after event after event after event, right? I've been going to events since early 2017. So I've seen it. So what happened was we said this. We said, cool. Well, if we're bringing 150 people and we multiply that by 5, that's 750. I was like, 750, that's a lot of people. I said, we did 500 last time with no preparation, and we took a little bit of a hit. We took a massive hit. And, we weren't prepared. And then I began to think, preparation. I remember David Amitié saying this in one of his trainings, preparation is the highest form of belief. It's the highest form of faith, because if you're stating something and you're saying, okay, we are putting 1,000 people in 2 weeks, and then you prepare for it, you are showcasing that you are taking responsibility for that desire, right? Alex Morton says it best. Some of us are more successful because we just became aware of our desires, took responsibility for them, and then acted upon that responsibility. So we became aware of our desire. We're taking responsibility through preparation. Now we're taking the action of training, attending the convention, and then going out and doing the 3 opportunity calls a day, doing the business training every single day, doing the Forex and crypto training every single day. 5 hours a day from the 15th of March to the 31st. We are going all in. So what I said was, man, 750, right? That's numbers that you would do if you're not prepared. Let's make it 1,000 because now we're prepared. Do you guys feel more prepared after this week? Like, be honest. If not, I'll train more. I'll give you all the training you need. I love training. Training is one of my favorite things to do. It's because it's where I get to take everything that's in here and just puke and throw it out. I haven't got any numbers. No one's prepared, I guess. Never mind. Okay, I got Melanie. Melanie's prepared. We got Alana. Okay, cool. We got a couple people. Well, I know a couple people are going to do well. Whatever. Right, we're prepared now. Whether you believe it or not, you're prepared. You are. Cool? Cool. So now we're prepared. That's why we're putting 1,000 people in. That is exactly why. Because when you see everyone else going 2 and free, when you see the newest person that joined this week go 2 and free, when you see that person hit P600, hit P1, remember how it felt after Dallas when there was a new rank up flyer every hour and a half? Like literally every 60 to 90 minutes, there was a rank up flyer. That's what's going to happen, right? So tonight, I want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about continuously building up your pipeline. I want to talk about how to assume and how to take advantage of someone that doesn't act on assumption, and then closing, right? I'm going to put these kind of together. I'm going to talk about the pipeline. I'm going to mix the last 2 together. I'm going to go through it really, really quickly. I'm going to pause the recording. I'll give Jordan Morgan a call and see if he can hop on whenever he can hop on, right? And let's get this started. Your pipeline is everything. Your pipeline is everything. Your pipeline is access to your business. In any traditional business, you're going to see them have an email list or a customer list, right? Companies do this all the time. You get it in the mail. Like I get this from my dental office all the time. I get this from the dog's doctor all the time. Every couple of months, they're sending me a flyer in the mail, or they're calling me, hey, come do a checkup, right? They're always checking in. They're always checking up. They're always re-exposing an opportunity, right, for me to show up or for me to do an action. So your pipeline is not just a list of people, it's documentation, right? It's documentation, because it's one thing to have a list of 100 names, but it's another thing to have a list of those 100 names, information of when you actually spoke to that person, how did they react, when you should reach out to them again, right? Important things right here. I call it Jason Brown calls it the double up rule. He believes in doubling up. So if Jason has a conversation with me today, March 12th, right? In 2 more days, he'll reach out to me again. After the 2-day line, he'll reach out in 4 days. After 4 days, he'll reach out in a week. After a week, he'll reach out 2 weeks later. Then he'll reach out a month later. Then he'll reach out 2 months later. Then he'll reach out 4 months later. But because I'm in his pipeline, he will continue to reach out, right? He'll continue to reach out. He'll know what we talk about. He will find a reason to reach out. You have to become good at finding reasons to reach out. Hey, Alana, I was actually reading this book and this quote made me think about you. Drop the quote. How are you doing? Right? Hey, Ryan, just wanted to send you a quick screenshot from our chat. Another person just had a 4-figure week. I hope you're doing amazing. Like, find reasons to check in. Hey, Darren, I know you weren't able to make the last event, but I asked you if it was okay if I could reach out to you again. I actually have a massive event happening on the 26th with someone who is actually one of the top 100 earners in the industry. Are you available? I would love to have you privately meet them. right? You have to find reasons to check in. Your pipeline needs to grow by 2 names a day. It has to grow at minimum by 2 names a day. And it doesn't need to always be people that you've exposed, right? It could be, hey, I met this person on the street. I got their Instagram. Plug their Instagram into your pipeline. So you know how to check in with them. You know to go comment on their stuff. You know what to do, right? You know exactly what to do. Your pipeline is your capital. Your pipeline is your capital because businesses do this, right? Like once you begin, okay, how you have to really think like, how can I treat this like a traditional business, but have the freedom of an online business, right? You obtain freedom of an online business through treating the small things of a traditional business. So what happens, anyone who's ever worked corporate, right? When I was an accountant, this is the first thing I did. Well, I got a cup of coffee first, right? I put my shit away, get a cup of coffee, then go to the desk. I would turn the computer on, go get coffee, bullshit around for a couple minutes, and then I would, show back up. But the first thing I would do was I would open up Microsoft Outlook. I would see what emails I would have. I would look at our dash. I would see what task needs to be done. I would go check in with, I think Christy was her name, ask what she needs me to get done for the day, any special little things I need to go do, right? And I had my day. I had my objective, right? So when you wake up in the morning, beside drinking the glass of water, praying, meditating, doing your reading, hitting the gym, when you get into your office, when you get into your zone, right? Are you treating this like a business? Because if you just treat it like a cool little group chat with your friends, you're going to get the results that you got results hanging out with your other group of friends. Now, I'm not saying not have fun with it. I'm not saying become a robot. I'm not saying you need to be Mr. Corporate America like me, right? But what I'm saying is maybe a little sprinkle of professionalism, a little sprinkle of business would change your business, right? Does that make sense? Like, is that connecting with you, right? So create a system for yourself. That's guys, the Nancy has the best one. She has the best one I've seen personally. I'm sure there's other great ones out there. But the Trading Made Simple document, she turned that into her Microsoft Outlook. Not only does it have all her information for trading, but she has all of her leaders in there with their Instagram and contact number. She has who's closest to the next rank. She has newest customers that she needs to reach out to. She has her whole entire inventory plugged into one of those tabs. It's honestly one of the best things I've ever seen. And I've just decided she's doing a training on it next week. So she may have to cover up some of her information and all the other jazz on there, but she's going to have to do it because she's one of the best at it. She's legit one of the best at it. So do you have that? I personally don't have it that level, but I'm about to do it. I'm making the public proclamation that I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do that now. After Mike and I each sign up 20 people next week, right? So and we made a bet. So I'm signed 20 people. We're tied 1-1 right now. We started it yesterday. Game time, all right? It's game time. So I'll sign up I'll sign up my dog if I have to. I'm just not losing. So here it goes, right? So do you have that pipeline? Do you have that business aspect? Do you have something where you can check in? Because you have to go back and check. You can't, right? This is something that happens. People go on Instagram sprees. They go on these big Instagram sprees and they're like, okay, I've messaged 50 people today. I got an hour-long ban because I keep copying and pasting shit, right? And tomorrow you forgot who you talked to. You forgot about the conversations. Right? Keep track. That's why we have these planners. Sorry, I got tons of paperwork over here. Guys, this is something that's super important. Make sure you print stuff out and have things to look at all the time. You guys, I'm telling you, man, I'm about to buy a jet with Armando. It's game time. It's freaking game time. But that's why we have these planners. That's why we did the training. I'm going to do a training on it again because guess what? The 90-day era is over. It's almost over. In 2 weeks, it's over. You know what we have to do? We have to plan out our next 90 days. Guys, I can't even tell you how happy and grateful I am right now. I am exuberating happiness and gratefulness. Exuberating. That's a big word. I don't even think I know how to spell that, right? But I feel so freaking good. I feel so good. Do you guys feel that way? Like, if you can learn one thing from this boot camp is how do you feel? Because if you're feeling good, good things are coming. No matter how crazy life fucking seems, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what's happening in the family, no matter what's happening in your finances, if you feel good, good things are going to happen. That's literally the truth. I can end the call right now. You're trained. You're done. You're prepared. Because people want to be around people that feel good. You think people want to be around people that are always like naggy, people that are always annoying, people that are micromanagers, people that are always angry? Who would want to be around that? Would you want to attract that? No, right? So you gotta feel good. I feel good. I feel so freaking good. That's the quote of the night. I feel so freaking good. Now let's go back into a little bit of PS3 and let's talk about feel, felt, found, and closing. Because yes, oh my God, my dog's adorable. Yes, we're gonna be doing a lot of opportunity calls, right? Or solution calls. We're gonna be doing a lot of those. But you at some point are gonna have to do the assume, right? Because the interest is peaked. If someone's on a call, you've piqued their interest. Whether you did it really poorly or you did it great, which determines someone's, how they actually view. Guys, here's this is another piece of advice. Write this one down. It's not just getting 20 people on an opportunity call, right? It's getting 20 people who want to be on the call. Because you can send out a link and everyone can hop on, right? Everyone can hop on that call. But if they don't want to be there, they're not listening. They're not open to receive that information. And so if you go into this 2-week blitz where we're going to have literally, I think, over 60 opportunity calls in 2 weeks, right? If you just get one per call and we close at 10%, that's 6 people. That means you did over 5. That means we're going to put 1,000 people in 2 weeks. Perspective, right? Basics, right? Like, they will get started. Because if I've really piqued Ryan's interest, like, yo, Ryan, I saw you posted something about the coronavirus, bro. I don't know what your opinion is on it, or I don't know what your situation is, but have you ever thought about creating other income sources so you don't have to worry about the risking, your income? No, bro, I haven't even thought about it. Like, I'm just really stressed out right now. But hey, man, if I could get you introduced to someone who's teaching me currently how to go through that process as well, would you be open to hopping on the call? Yeah, man, what do I have to do? Hey, it's just an hour long. You just have to sit there and listen, get a notebook, and when the call's over, I'll give you a call and see what you like best. Yeah, man, I'm in. Right? Now, not everyone's going to be that simple, right? Not everyone's going to be so happy-go-lucky. But people are looking for opportunity right now. People are literally looking for opportunity. People are scared shitless. Like, imagine, I'm really reflecting, and this is why I'm so grateful. I'm reflecting, and this is why today has been such a good day for me. Today I had a reflection of sitting in my college dorm room saying yes to that shitty ass course that I bought. And then I had a second reflection of quitting, because I quit trading in the summer of 2016. Brexit happened. I got back into trading because I saw someone make 430K. And I was like, holy shit, why did I quit? Right? I joined another company, which turned out to be a scam. It was awful. It was literally a waste of my money again. I got my management accounts blown. And then I remember sitting at the dinner table in my college apartment on a call with Justin, Alex Morin, Matt Rosa, and Jason Brown. And I got closed. I said yes. And I look back at that day. I looked back at the sacrifice. I stopped going out. Like, I stopped doing shit. Like, I stopped going out, hanging out with my friends every single week. And I stopped goofing around. I stopped being a knucklehead. And I got into the trenches and I started learning how this worked. Right? Eventually, I learned the skill set. After 12 months of failing, 3 to 4 months into I learned what I thought was the secret, which it wasn't institutional trading. Let me tell you that, right? Y'all got it good, really. Y'all got it really good. And I started making money trading. I started doing so well. I was making more than what I was making that they were paying me to be there. It wasn't worth for me going to work at the gym anymore. I only stayed working at the gym because I worked at the front desk and I could still hop on the Zooms to trade with Mike in the morning. That was literally the only reason why I stayed. I was getting paid to trade, right? When I worked for my friend's company, and I was getting paid like $650, $700 a week, and I was having $600 mornings. And I just remember that, and I look back 2.5, 3 years later, and I'm like, man, what if I quit? Would I be in the situation that everyone else is thinking about right now, that everyone else is struggling with right now? Like, you guys, I'm telling you, I'm so happy and grateful. And I'm telling you, I'm so blessed because I was in a majority of your shoes right now, where it's like, I haven't made it, right? I haven't made it yet, but I'm making it happen, right? I'm still working a part-time job or a full-time job, but I know in one more year, I won't be there, right? I remembered all of that today. I remembered all of that today because now no one can tell me shit. You can't tell me shit. I don't care what your opinion is. That, oh, you don't have a 401k? Well, you do? You're a fucking idiot. Like, no one can tell me shit. That's the vibes of 2020. You can't tell me shit. Seriously. And you don't have to say that. You don't have to have how I talk. You don't have to be like that. I just get like that sometimes. Y'all know me. At the end of the day, I'm very like calm and like, teddy bearish, right? But like, you have to believe that, man. You have to live in that assumption that it's already true. I'm the living proof on this call with you. I am literally I didn't know about Forex before this. That Pokemon joke is legit. Like, everyone laughs at it, but I legit didn't know what Forex was. I thought it was a scam. Remember, I heard of foreign exchange trading in the middle of 2015. I just didn't trust the person who was introducing it to me. Could you imagine if I said yes and found I am in 2015? Oh my Lord. Jason would be in my downline. But at the end of the day, right, I'm just freaking grateful, man, because I know each and every single one of you are going to be in the same exact position. Because when I went through, this is why I know it. This is literally why I know it. Because when I was, and this has nothing to do with the training right now. This has nothing to do with the training, but I hope this is helping. Because when I was going through the BS, when I was going through the mud, when I had my whole entire team leave me in the beginning because we dropped our auto trader and the people that I brought in were lazy and they didn't want to learn how to trade by themselves. When I built massive organizations and then we would fall off. When I would build up an account and then my dumbass would have blown it because I wanted to get rich quick. When I went through all of that, I still believed and I still stayed. I still believed that one day I was going to walk across stage, and it happened. Now I want 10 chairmans walking across stage. You think after all 3 years of nonsense, I'm going to give up on helping 10 other people do that? By Houston? You're tripping. So I know what's going to happen because what I did, that was for me. Doing it for me, that's like the hard part. Doing it for yourself is the hard part because you can just go do something else. But when you tell people you're doing it for them, you can't be stopped. Right? That's why I'm so excited, guys. I can't just stop sharing my excitement with each and every single one of you right now. I just can't stop. I can't even focus on this freaking training. I'm just so excited because what's going to happen in the next 6 months is going to be life-changing. Parents are going to retire. We're going to be opening up family businesses. You're going to have portfolios. Your credit's going to be fixed up. You're going to be able to get into real estate if you want. Your accounts are going to be looking healthy. And I'm not even going to say disclaimer because I know this shit's facts. If you don't do it, you fucked up. Straight up. Straight up. Because everyone is doing it. Angie, 4-figure week. We had JC had a 5-figure account. We had, who else today just hit, frick. I want to remember right now. Pedro wrote a freaking gold card this week and put 4 figures in his account. Like, it's happening, guys. It is happening. Everything I wanted from the day I started this is happening, and I get to do it with people like you. We are so freaking blessed. I am so grateful. I'm getting emotional. I'm going back to training. Holy cow. Actually getting emotional. Okay, back to training. So, feel, felt, found. When someone hops on that call, right, they have to have some type of interest in it. Because if there's no interest, information isn't being received, and they're not going to have any type of excitement. It's not going to put you into a position to take authority and assume the close. People that are interested, people that are excited, you can move them along. right? That's why the car salesman, I give this example, they get you to say yes 10 times before they ask you if you want to buy the car, because now you've said yes so often you want to go. You're ready to get the car, right? You're ready to get the car. It's the same thing with this. People are so excited. They see the vision. They feel that this was crazy. Listen to this. John Cuevas had someone, he thought that the call on Sunday before Alex Moore was an opportunity call for some reason. He brought someone on the call. I did not talk about the company. I didn't talk about the products. I talked about the team's vision of 1,000 people. He replied to John the moment the call was over, I'm going to Miami. I don't know how to get there or what we're doing, but I'm going. I want to be a part of this. There has to be excitement. People have to want to do this, because when they want to, now you get to set the tone. When someone wants to do this, you get to set the tone. So you're going to get on the call. Ryan, what did you call people? Like, legit, call people. Call people. Stop texting. Call people. Ryan, what did you like best, bro? Or even edify it. Yo, that call was amazing, man. Every time I see it, I just get more and more excited. What did you like best? Man, that the mentorship is insane. Or, yo, I didn't even know like about the cash flow quadrant. Man, I want to make residual income. Man, I see something more in myself. Right? Whatever the statement is, it's irrelevant, because all you're going to talk about is that statement. If someone tells you they want mentorship, don't tell them about SwipeCoin. If someone's like, hey man, I love the academy, don't tell them about the scanner. Talk about what they want to talk about. Yo, Ryan, dude, the mentorship's insane. Like, I remember when I first got started, they only had one language and 4 educators. Now we educate in over 8 different languages, over 1,100 hours a month, and I'm personally partnered with 7 of those educators called the Trade House. They actually teach us every single week on institutional trading. Bro, I think that you would kill this if you like that out of everything, because there was a lot of enticing stuff on there. But if you like the mentorship over everything, bro, you're going to do amazing. I knew this was going to be for you. How about this? Let me send you the information to get started really quick. And then once you get everything signed up tonight, I'll plug you in a group chat with one of the educators. Does that work for you? Yes, it works for me. Yes. Now, what if they say, oh, but I still have a couple more questions? What are your questions, bro? You guys have been doing this for you've gone through the academy. You've gone through the Trade House course. You've participated in Discord. You said welcome in Telegram. You are capable of answering questions. Well, what do you got questions on, man? Well, I'm still a little bit more confused on the market itself. Oh, well, let me break that down for you really quick. That's a great question. Well, what the market is, as you know, it's something you're already trading, but what we're doing is just, instead of giving the money to the banks, we're trading it ourselves. So what happens here is we trade the margins between 2 currency pairs. We make money going either way, and what our company is going to do is they teach you exactly how to take advantage of that. Or fill something else in the blank. Does that help? Yeah. Awesome. Anything else, bro? Oh, well, I just don't know if it's for me. See? Now here comes the best part. I'm going to flip the script for you again, right? Feel, felt, found. Hey, you know what, Ryan? I completely feel you, man. I felt the same exact way. I was super excited about this, but I was extremely nervous because I didn't know if it was too good to be true. But what I began to realize is we determine if something's actually too good for us. And I just found out that if I put time into this and I actually ask for mentorship, I'm going to get the results that I want. And I think you're someone that is the same exact way. You want to do this together, bro? Let's do it. Sign the person up. Now, what if they're still, I got more questions. Okay, here's where the 3-way call happens. No problem, bro. I completely feel you. I felt the same exact way, man. I had so many questions, and what I found out is you just have to ask if you want answers. So how about this? If I can get some of my mentor's time, right? Insert edification. He's one of the top earners in the Midwest, or he's one of the top educators in the company, or this is someone that's helped so many different people and has been a massive blessing to my life. If you're doing it sideline, downline, whatever it may be, right? Because closing doesn't have to be your upline. Closing doesn't have to be me. Do I want to do it? Of course. I love doing it, right? I love inserting belief into people's lives. But, right, at the end of the day, that's irrelevant. I'm going to go back on my statement. Now that's when you bring the three-way call in. They're going to say yes again. If I can get some of their time, would you be open? Yes. Awesome, bro. I'm going to make a group chat really quick. Conversation's over. I'm going to make a group chat really quick. Hey, Tim, I want to introduce you to Ryan. He's a great friend of mine. He's super interested in mastery. We talked about Forex a little bit, but still has a couple more questions. Ryan, this is actually my mentor, Tim. Insert edification. Let's set up a time to chat. Ryan, bro, it's amazing to connect with you. I'm super excited. The fact that you see the mentorship is the coolest thing. I already know you're going to do amazing with this. What's your schedule like? Oh, I'm free in the afternoons. Cool, Ryan. I'm free at 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. Which one works best for you? 3 p.m. Dope. I got you in my schedule. You obviously already know how to use Zoom. I'll talk to you tomorrow at 3 p.m. I may even throw a personal development. Hey, watch this video on personal development tonight. I may just throw some random shit in there. You never know. That's a genius idea. You can't do a call for 24 or 48 hours. Give them some personal development to listen to because now their mind's expanded by ideas. Right? That's it, guys. That's closing. That's literally closing. That's PS3. That's feel, felt, found. That's getting people started. Remember, this isn't a sale. It kind of is, but this really isn't a sale. Like, I had someone tell me today, I'm sold. You sold me. I said, I didn't sell you on anything, man. My objective here is just to make you believe that this is possible for you, like the same way I believe that it was possible for me. Right? And you closing people is just making them believe in themselves because we know this works. We've seen it. Every single day we're seeing it. Like, I can't express enough, like how crazy that Angie Legit has just been showing up at a coffee shop every single day this week, hopping on the bounce back sessions and the trade house sessions with Rock and all of them. And she made 4 figures this week. Her biggest week in trading ever. Because she just made the conscious decision to plug in. Man, like that's what we have here. That's what we have here. And to me, it's so crazy. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to put this, if you have a couple questions, let's do this. I'm going to reach out to Jordan Morgan really quick. If you have a couple questions, drop them in the chat. I'm going to pause the recording and then I'll answer those questions before he gets on and we'll go from there. Awesome. Jordan's going to be hopping on in the next few minutes here. Guys, we just got the flyer for the March Madness Online Summit. It's going to go from 9 a.m. Eastern Time to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's open to everyone. This is open to everyone. There's going to be over 30 chairmen speaking. There will be Forex education on the call. Jason, Matt, Chris will all be doing keynotes, multiple different panel discussions. By the way, I was not going to tell you guys this because I was super excited. I was speaking on a panel. And I didn't want to tell anyone the secret because I just wanted y'all to freak out randomly when all of a sudden my name got called up. But secret's out now. There will be panel speakers still. It's going to be www.marchmadnesssummitonline.com. It's in the QC chat. I'm going to announce it. Don't worry. I'm already going to, blow up every single freaking chat there is. Because y'all can't claim ignorance when I'm making announcements because I will fucking tag every chat. Okay. So any questions? He's going to hop on here in a couple minutes. I want to spend time answering some questions. I'm going to pause this again and then wait for a couple questions to come through. Or if you want to be unmuted and you want to vocally ask the question, just drop unmute me and I'll unmute you really quick. Damn, the recording was paused the whole entire time. Okay, guys, so what Armando asked was, what do you do? What's a good strategy? This is for people who are watching the recording. What's a good strategy for people that are always complaining or they're always just complaining about some shit, but you don't want to seem salesy in your approach to them complaining? What I said was, ask them what their game plan is to fix their situation. So if someone's complaining, man, my work, I can't work for 2 weeks. I don't know how I'm going to make any money. How the hell am I going to pay these bills? Message and be like, hey, I just saw your post, or you're having a conversation. Be like, hey, I overhear a conversation. Like, do you have a game plan or a plan of action to get yourself out of that situation? Most people are going to say no, because most people just have opinions. Remember that. Most people just have aired opinions. We bitch about something last week, and we're going to bitch about something new next week, right? So ask them, what's your game plan? They're probably going to say nothing. Then ask for permission to show them what your game plan is. Hey, are you open if I show I remember being in a situation like yours. Are you open for me to show you what I did in order to get out of it? If they still say no, okay, whatever. But if they say yes, congratulations. You have someone that is very good. All right, I'm going to unmute Rose. I unmuted one of them. I don't know if this is yours. Can you hear me? Or can you speak?
Yes. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you say to someone that they're like, oh yeah, investing is a great idea, but you're going about it the wrong way. You're investing short term with Forex. Why don't you look at stocks?
I always say that's so a lot of the time there's a lot of ways to go through that. I always use like a logical example of like a Coca-Cola stock, right? So I'm like, okay, well, let's look at it mathematically, percentage wise, because I'm here to see a return, right? I'm here to see a return. If I buy Coca-Cola and I get 57 cents back per year, it's going to take me, 60 years to start making any money on that stock if I don't sell it. I'm not here to make money 40 years from now. I'm here to make money now and forever. So for most people, Forex is the best alternative because they don't have tens of thousands of dollars to get involved in the stock market. I've been able to take a couple $100s and see more returns than any stock portfolio could ever give me over a 10-year period. And a lot of the times I say, well, why stocks? I get them to explain, because a lot of the time, and this happens in leadership, this is a good leadership training right here, or leadership answer. A lot of the time, leaders talk about things that their people don't need, trainings that their teams don't need, information that people don't need to hear, instead of just asking, what do you need? Right? Like, if you guys ever want to learn how to become a better leader, don't ask me, go ask your team. Say, hey, Armando, how can I best serve you, man? I want to find ways to become a better leader, and I want to make sure that I'm leading you best. That's how you become a better leader, right? So it's the same thing when people ask you that question. Okay, well, why do you think that trading stocks is better? Because they probably don't know the difference. They're probably ignorant of information. Not every single time, but the majority of time, right? So have them explain their reasoning, and then have you explain yours and showcase it in another way. That's why when people tell me, like, hey, I want to show you my opportunity. Yeah, of course, show me it. And then I counter pitch, because I said, hey, man, this sounds great, but what really attracted me, what I was doing was boom, 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 boom. And you show them everything that they don't have, right? And I mean, does that help? I can keep going a little bit deeper into that too.
No, yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
Time is a huge thing as well. Well, there's only limited time that I can actually make money in the market. Like, and look what just happened. You think I'm going to put my money into someone else's control? I want the most control over my money. Will I trade Forex forever? I don't know, but I know I'll make more money than a stock trader, right? Or, hey, I work during the day, right? I want to be able to trade in the afternoon. I want to be in control of my income. I'm the one that determines how much I make, not the economy, right? So those are some good answers as well. Iker, we got, how do you deal with people who think you would be great at this, but they're stubborn and they think they know it all? Close people to you. Okay. The hardest people to get started with this are people that you know. They're typically the hardest. I was a special case where I had a large influx of people to get started with me when I first got started. People that I knew. But an overwhelming majority of people that you know will not want to, they don't want to take advice from you, especially when it comes to money, because they don't want you to be on a pedestal over them. This is why third party is so important, because you could get me on a call with a business person. He can come on the call with a suit, and I'll do it with a tank top. and I'm going to put him in his place. Why? Because I'm the authority figure on the call, right? So a lot of the times, and this is why Jason Brown told me, edify your way to chairman, it's because no one wants to hear from you, but they're more than willing to listen to people that they don't know, right? It's like, hey, I have $100,000 in my bank account. Instead of, actually trusting people that I know, let me go to a financial advisor who makes a commission off my money. You know what I'm saying? We'll always go to random people. We'll always believe people more than we'll believe people that we know. And you guys realize that a lot, the longer you stay in this company, is that, you make more money with people that you don't know than people that you do know. All right, Troy's not yet. Keep the questions coming, though. I hope these are helping. If they don't, obviously, message or unmute. Another things that's cool about margin trading, like trading the way that we do, is you can trade the stock market, except it's leveraged, right? So you could literally trade Tesla and buy a Tesla from trading Tesla stock, just leverage trading. You don't ever have to own it, right? You don't ever have to own it. I'm just not interested right now. Like me personally, I'm not interested in having a stock portfolio. Not interested at all. I say when I have the money, I'll let you know. I'll do more research and I'll let you know. I'll think about it and I'll let you know. Oh, sorry. Mom's calling me. I'll call her right back. What do you say to people? Okay. I always say, I'll let you know. I'm going to think of a good response for this. Feel, felt, found always works well with this too, and I think sometimes setting up the next call is super important. Or the research one's really the easiest one. Okay, hey, what do you need to research? I can find the information for you. Or maybe I actually know some of the information. The research one, people just say that as an excuse. And the thing about, okay, what do you got to think about? Like, what are some things I can talk about more to actually, help you with that? The number one thing that you can do is schedule another call. Schedule another call with another person. So if that person, let's say that, I got Alana on the call here, right? And Alana's like, hey, I have to think about it. Hey, no problem, Alana, but let's do this. Hey, when's the next time you're available? If I can get some of my mentor's time, I think you would love to pick his brain. Set up the next call, right? Set up the next call. Edification, different things like that. Most of the time, they're just excuses, right? Most of the time, they're just excuses. So you have to really see how to get away from the excuses. Is this Jordan? Let me see here. I think we have Jordan on the call now. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Where are you at? Okay. Hey, Jordan, if you can hear me, I messaged you on Zoom. Shoot me a message back or text me so I know that's you. But let's wait. Is Manifest Jordan? Oh, okay. My dude. I'm over here like you're messaging me. I had no clue who was messaging me. That is so funny. Oh my God. Okay. I love you, Jordan. All right, guys. So really quick, manifesting that Bitcoin dropping. Yeah, y'all, like tell everyone you know to start buying up Bitcoin. Wait till a little bit above 3,000 though. But beyond the point, guys, I'm super excited about this call. Honestly, there's really no one better to end the trading part of our chairman boot camp than Jordan Morgan. This guy is literally a machine. Like he is a machine when it comes to trading. I wholeheartedly believe that everything Jordan touches, it turns to gold. Right? This guy understands how things work. He can see the markets in different ways. This dude has received so much mentorship from industry legends. Like he is one of the best. And I think it's so crazy to me, speaking about being blessed, right? And telling you a little bit about my story. And a lot of you have heard my story. My first ever presentation was with Jordan Morgan and Mike Miles. The first time I ever presented I Am Mastery Academy, I did it at the OG Trade House in Dallas, Texas. And from that moment forward, the Trade House has literally put me under their wings. I've done business outside of this with them, and I will always do business with them. This is literally they're some of the only individuals in this company that I have the utmost respect for. These are people that I trust and have an insane amount of love for. Like, we could not be with better people. We literally could not be with better people. And I'm just so happy and grateful at last minute being able to call up Jordan and ask for private mentorship. This dude educates, gets paid by the company to educate multiple times a week, right? He has no reason why he needs to be on this call. But this man is just an amazing servant leader who was more than open to hopping on and, just for 60 people on the call and really just drop some nugs for us. So I'm super excited. Jordan, throughout the week so far, let me unmute you really quick. We've gone through a lot of, unmute. We've gone through a lot of just institutional basics, understanding why our trading style works over other retail trading styles, and different things like that. So I would love for you just to share some knowledge, especially with how the market is moving the way it is, and how we can really take advantage of that and why we could have predicted this looking back. So Jordan, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm very grateful for you. My man, you're in control.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
What's up? What's up, everyone? So if y'all can be like super active in the chat as well as I'm talking, I'll be able to like really I guess focus on where you're struggling to understand certain things, and who knows, one question to one person can, cause a breakthrough to many others as well. So I don't know how far anyone here is along with our education, or how long you've been watching us on Go Live or anything like that, but the whole point of this call will be to give you breakthroughs. I don't think I can share my screen.
I'll make you co-host really quick. Cool. You should be good to go.
Okay. All right. I need to drag this over. Okay. One thing to really take into account. Am I in front of everyone? I am. Okay. Cool. Is the fact that it doesn't matter about how many times you're wrong. It's about making money. And we're really programmed to be fearful of being wrong. And that's just all from the programming of uprising of going to school. You can make a 99 on a test, you're still gonna be pretty much told, and it's like circled on your paper, -1, like it's just stuff like that. And if you really dive deep into small time price action, and that's something that we're really wanting to bring, and we are bringing currently to everyone's focus live all the time in front of everyone. Just because you can be wrong 5 times, and then all of a sudden you get a 1 to 20 risk to reward. So keep that in mind. Bitcoin, okay. This fall is nothing new. It really isn't. For those who have been following, our work for quite some time, or if you're really new to hearing my voice, I guess you could say, because a lot of times I never show my webcam on Go Live. But just think about this. if the majority masses lose because everything is so scripted and the programming since the beginning of school to, I would say, the same thing going into trading, you're pushed to go one way and it's a giant herd of people versus the real way, right? And judge everything in supply and demand form. Okay, everything you do. If there's a large number of supply of anything, right, whether you're in a job field, large number of supply of your certain career, job, skill set, doesn't matter. Okay. Just never mind. Let's just get into it. Okay. So, what I want to do is I want to focus on price action today. Okay. Price action, and what we're going to do is we're going to crunch it from uh, large time frames to small time frames, because I truly believe, at least if you can understand price action and you don't know the direction long term, the macro direction of any currency, anything, you will be able to hit where price is being walked up and down. Okay, and I'm gonna start with Bitcoin just for a perfect example. Okay, just bear with me with working through any of this, because as you can see, when these large drops happen, like with any of these markets, uh, it warps the way you can like read the candles and stuff, as you can see when I drag it. Okay, but let's get into it. So realize this: you've got see here. I'm not going to put a specific number on it, but let's just go with what public sources say in like barchart.com. You've got 3 different types of traders in this world. Okay, you've got small speculators, the ones that can't make a dent when trading. Okay, and what that means is you don't struggle to fill your orders. Okay, realize that when you're trading, it doesn't matter what it is, whether you're buying contracts, selling contracts, buying equity stocks, buying physical Bitcoin, margin Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. Eventually you get to a point to where your money is going to cause you to take bigger orders, and your orders become harder to fill. Okay, when you're risking 1% of your account, 2%, 3%, doesn't matter, uh, that percentage is going to grow, and it gets to the point to where your orders are harder to fill. And smart money, okay, if you're just hearing it for the first time, or if you've heard us talk about it a lot, it's just a mindset, and all it is being aware of the majority, the masses. This is all a game at the end of the day. Okay, so we have our small speculators. Okay, so right, you have your small traders, small speculators, whatever you want to call it, your small money, anything like that. The ones that don't make a dent. Okay. 2, you've got your large players, your hedge funds, uh, private, small, big, doesn't matter. Okay, you've got your ones that now you can start really. I would say when you're scaling into a position, you've got to average in, right? Versus you can't just come in, click one button and fill your entire position, because what you're going to do is you're going to create movement, and then your position average is going to be garbage, pretty much. And then 3, you got your commercial players. Okay, and just for if anyone is brand new, go to Google, type in the top 10 currency traders, and then it'll list the banks, right? And think about it, do the math. You go from what we're being told, Bloomberg says it's like 6.6 trillion, something like that, 7 trillion, I don't know, a day in volume, okay, average movement. But then you have the banks over here doing 8%, 7%, 9%, 10%, 6% in market share a month. Do the math. That's trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions a month. So obviously there's a different way, an approach that these larger players are having to do, and that's what we're getting into. Like I said, if you can read the price action, even if you have the direction wrong, eventually you'll be able to read it to the other side and get in and go with it. Right? So it just goes all the way back to that psychology that I was talking about in school. Not being scared of being wrong so that you can continue to work it and eventually you'll get the trade. So one thing that I've noticed is this. So you'll get some kind of liquidity, some kind. It's, you know, it can be different. You know, it can be to where it just bounces and, you know, people draw you know, flags if you've seen people trade like that or anything like that. The point is there's gonna be wicks. There's gonna be wicks, and it's gonna create liquidity at some way. Some way liquidity is gonna be made. And then a purchasing candle will come in. Okay. And inside these candles, okay, the majority of the volume's in the body, not in the wick. Okay, the majority of the volume's in the body. So when a big purchase is coming in, how are they how is a big player able to get into the markets, right? Well, if they just market execute, it's going to throw price off, right? Because opinions are coming in constantly, buy limits, sell limits, buy stops, sell stops, blah blah blah, all this stuff. It all depends on what's going on in the environment. Okay? But the point is, somehow there's got to be liquidity formed to allow big players to get in, and especially the commercial players to get in. The commercial players, they're commercial hedgers, right? The only way that big banks are able to do such large volume monthly, right? We're talking about trillions and trillions, is because they're buying and selling. They can hold drawdown for months before they let go. We were doing a lesson on Go Live and showing I forgot which bank it was, their books, and it shows their P&Ls, and they rarely take losses because they can hold drawdown forever, because guess what, the government can bail them out anyway, right? But anyway, it's these patterns that you can see for purchasing candles, and what we want are thick body candles. Okay, when that thick body candle comes in, the proof behind it is when it goes away really quick, whether it engulfs or whether it takes a couple candles to engulf, but the proof of purchasing is happening. Okay, when I'm talking about kinds of different liquidity, right? Another popular one is price will be getting to, say, bottom and going sideways a little bit, and then it'll print a doji, right? A little doji, right? And then all of a sudden you'll get, okay, so let's do this perfect. You'll get doji, and then all of a sudden it'll be like, ugh. Whether it goes underneath it, whether it goes above it, doesn't matter, but it'll be a nice down candle, or you can flip this around and it'll be a doji and then up candle, right? And so I don't know about you, but when I first started way back in the day, I was told to memorize candlestick patterns, and it's like school. Like you get your head crammed full of crap you don't need, right? And it's the same thing here. Candlestick patterns crammed full of crap you don't need, and so now all of a sudden you can say every single name and whatever this looks like. It doesn't. And so really, what's going on is you've got in a doji, the only large amount of trading is inside this body, and there's barely any trading in here. But the question is, how do players around the world trade this? Okay, well, there's two types of traders in the world, right? Either you put your stop loss somewhere based on candles in the past, or you're randomly guessing and have a rule, 20 pip, 30 pip, 40 pip. I've seen stop losses that are insane. 200 pip stop losses to make 50 pips type, and the math doesn't add up. Okay, but look at this. So this is what's happening. Inside here, people that are playing it, what they're doing is they're putting stops somewhere in here. Okay, and then all of a sudden, people are convinced that we're reversing by purchasing candle. Proof of the next purchasing candle would be engulfing. Engulfing like this. It's proof that the purchase happened. Okay, now what happens? Well, when big purchases or big sell-offs happen, okay, just like we're seeing in pretty much all the indices, Bitcoin, when big buys or sells happen, this is created, right? There is so many sells going on, barely any buys, and it's causing slips in the delivery of price, and it's causing imbalances in the markets. Okay, well, when that happens in here after the proof of purchasing, okay, whether, like I said, whether it engulfs, whether it's 2 candles, 3 candles, but it's the power of the buys coming in, what's going to happen is that there's going to be little slips and imbalances in these markets, okay? And this is the difference when finding these areas, because if you've been watching how we trade, which I'm sure all of y'all have, following everything, look at this is the difference, right? Trying to buy, say, inside here for that mitigation that y'all know, for it to go higher. Or, okay, right there's let's just say it went to here, 1 to 3. Or you end up scrolling in somewhere in here, you find very small time frame identical to what I'm showing you, whether it's purchasing candles, whether it's imbalance, and you're able to actually fine point narrow the same thing on a 5-minute time frame, 1-minute time frame. And this is a difference between a 3 to 1 and, let's just say, 18 to 1. Okay, with approaching the market like this, you're able to afford more losses. Okay, and so if we find that just inside here, that same price point that we were looking at, inside there, right? And let's just go see if we can find it. I don't know. It's Bitcoin, so all these brokers are different with the exchanges and stuff when you start getting into Small time frames. Okay. So when you're looking at this, it's like where's the push? Up or down doesn't matter, but where's those pushes? Right? Like where's those pushes? I mean, you see it, right? Y'all see the pushes? You know? This can be different on these brokers, right? All the exchanges are different. Okay, but just on this one, you can see the pushes. Okay, and so those are interesting price points. Okay, and so what you're doing is you're following it on those small time frames, right? You can work it. The example this week from the New York Open trading that we were doing all together. I can walk you through, a couple examples. Okay. Higher time frame, right? You can see price just stalling, right? You can just see price stalling, and so if your bias was to the downside, all we're focusing on is on price action today. Okay, we're stalling through here. Okay, when do we start capturing liquidity, right? Where in any candle area, where do we push out buyers and sellers and then revisit the areas for that bounce, right? Those mitigation plays constantly. Okay. So let's just focus in here. And you obviously see that one, but focus in here. Okay. So look, so right now we're on the small time frames. Okay. So let's just say that your bias is to the downside. Okay. Your bias is to the downside, and you're doing the same exact thing on big time frames that you would in here because everything is fractal, right? Fractal, all that means is the same approaches that you're doing on higher time frames is the same approaches that you're doing on smaller time frames. It's the same chart work, the same thing, right? It's just bigger time frames trump smaller time frames. Okay, so that's why you work this down. So we're looking for sells, right? You can obviously see the buy that happened that drove this up, that whole sign of weakness in a distribution schematic. Okay, the sign of weakness, the sign of strength, right? Those usually are when they throw price back. Okay, but you can see purchasing candle, right? We're on 5 minute. Valid, takes liquidity, right? They're just throwing price back and forth, working it down. Okay, now let's just say you attempted this way. Let's just say you were going for the short off of this, and this was your play. Obviously, you get stopped out. You can see that it worked, and then the liquidity is ran, right? The same way liquidity is kind of ran over here, you have an even bigger liquidity run. So you can theoretically lose 1% right here, and then you attempt again. The same approach that you would do on higher time frames is the same approach you do it on lower time frames. The difference is inside an entire institutional candle on smaller time frames, it's working sells down and purchasing, working sells down and purchasing, working sells down and purchasing, and then it'll flip. It'll feed out of those cells and purchase more, feed out of those cells and purchase more, feed out of those cells and purchase more. And it'll sit there and just work its way. smaller time frames, it'll look like accumulation. Okay, but inside that one institutional candle, it'll literally be accumulation inside that institutional candle. And it's like you can go from 5-minute and see the accumulation on 5-second time frames, 15-second time frames, 30-second time frames. You can see it work its way. You can see it work its way. Some sort of accumulation is happening. Right? But you see how we can crunch. The R&R, right? It's the same thing in here. Right? The bias working it down, but it's like a stair step. Right? It's literally stair stepping. Y'all have seen that, I'm sure. Little wave analogies, right? That whole stair step, right? And it's just it's just a way. This tactic is just a way for bigger players to work their entries in and out, in and out, in and out. All right, but taught on paper, it's not taught in that form. The only thing that you would know about this is it's an engulfing candle, right? It's, they're hammers and whatever other names there are, right? But you want to actually have meaning towards what's going on and think about it. Opinions are being informed in the markets at all times. It's coming in, coming in, coming in, right? Stops are being placed, whether they're protective stops or whether they're entry stops, doesn't matter. Stops are above wicks. All of a sudden, fast candle up. If it's fast, it doesn't last. Reverse. What did I say earlier? In big order flow coming in, like when a lot of buy contracts come in or a lot of sell contracts come in, it'll create imbalance, right? Price will just slip because too big of a sell came in or too big of a buy came in, and that's what happened here. Too big of a buy or too big of a sell came in, right? A buy pushed up the markets, and then all of a sudden it was just sell, 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 sell. Eventually, there's no buyers left. Okay, the ones trying to buy in this area are left in drawdown, right? Psychology wise, and then they close out here because, oh my goodness, thankfully I get to break even, right? Adding on to that sell side because they originally bought into that candle, right? And then they're in drawdown, so they sell their position back, right? Psychology thinking wise, and then bigger money driving price up to sell into it. Imbalance is made. Well, you got to fill the imbalance and offer price fairly. There it is. Well, do it again. Right? And it's just that stair step. Stair step, stair step, stair step. Yeah, and I actually have asked Daniel to be on this call. If you don't know him, 8-inch Wick on Instagram. So I asked if you'd throw some nuggets too with me as well. But look, you can even see it right here. Right? I didn't see this until now, but I'm just saying, like, you can just see, right? that last push up, test liquidity, sells into the candle, too many sells, buyer enticement, got to offer price fairly, fill back in this imbalance, right? All of this, take out double bottom, these not your friends, right? Does that make sense? Like as far as meaning, right? Really understanding why price has to move in this form, and really understanding that those big players, and that understanding why, because their purchasing power is just so much, right? And it's just a way to read what's really going on in the order books behind the scenes that are printing these candles. Right. I'll give you an example from the past. I don't know if I'll be able to get into it. I have the picture on it because when the uh, data moves too much, um, you can't get to it on small time frames anymore. So we'll see. All right, so let's highlight this area. Okay, so you'll see it, right? Uh, institutional candle, wiping out the low, proof of purchasing, leaving equal highs. Y'all see it? Right, okay, so look at this is the difference. So what if you bought here? Okay, 3-1. Okay. Now, what if you waited for confirmation? Right, you see the same thing. 9-1. Same thing, right? You see the purchasing candle, reverse, equal highs left, goes back, fills in the imbalance, comes and plays in this area. There it goes. 9-1. Okay, but we want to push it further. Don't have enough data. But this is it here. I have it all saved. All right, so that's the 3-minute. And y'all see the same candle, right? Pushes out liquidity, runs the other way, equal highs created. So now you do the same thing off that candle. And so the difference, okay, and I guess for those that can't see it, it's right there. Okay, so the difference is that was a 75-1. Okay, so three different scenarios, same approach on every single thought process with every single candle, right? But now you have a 1-3, a 1-9, and a 1-75. Okay, this is the difference. And then it's like, think about it. Like getting the bottom of a move, getting the top of a move, it doesn't matter, because when you have your bias and you know the direction that price is willing to go, which you know, this was the thought. Price was going to reject off here. We obviously didn't get that, and that sucked. But the buy was correct. Okay, but missing it is fine. Like I can already you can already see the next attempt with imbalance right here, right? And it's working it. Like eventually there's going to be another spot to get in on small time frames, and what you're able to do is just narrow that risk, maximize that reward. I just want to see if I can get this or not. I'll show you the same thing on here. Did a lot of y'all see the breakdown of this anywhere? I don't know if y'all did. We posted all over social media. We were hyped about having the top. But same thing, look. Okay, so I can see it. Okay, so all right. So you see inside here, right? Right now we're on small time frames, okay? But this imbalance that you see right here, okay? Institutional candle, right? See the imbalance? Okay. You see the stair step? Run the high, fall, run it back, continue to fall. That was the thought process. But we're focused on small time frames, so hold on. Focus on the candle that runs the high, right? Or the candle that runs the low. The high was ran. Engulfing candle, engulfing candle. Right? Go low, dip below here. Imbalance. So you're over here selling into that move, hoping you're right. And then it just happens that it crashed, but this was the original move, a 9-1. You know, and it's just, we can afford to be wrong more. Right? It's okay to be wrong now. We can be wrong multiple times. Right? But it doesn't take much to get a 1 to 3, 1 to 5, 1 to 10. You know, you can risk 5 pips to catch 20, and you just did a 1 to 4, where most people are risking, you know, 1 to catch 0.3, 0.5 backwards. Does that kind of make sense, y'all? Like, do you teach 1% risk, 2% risk? That's up to you. You know, like, you can be risking a tenth, a half a percent. Like, it's all up to you. How do you feel about the trade? What's the water like? You know, is it calm, or is it something like what we're seeing now? You know, really wakey and just crazy, right? How much, like, do you want to expose yourself more or expose yourself less? The thing is if you're over here getting 1 to 10, 1 to 20, you can now risk a 0.1% to make a percent, 1% to make 10%, right? And so it's not about like what I teach, it's what are you comfortable with at the time. But the thing is you know exactly where to get in because you can see that price action. It's the same thing on bigger time frames as in smaller time frames. But the thing is, you can't just open up a chart and start on the 1 minute and decide. Start on the 3 minute, 2 minute, 4 minute. You can't work that way. You've got to work down. You can't work up. You gotta know the bias, right? Like for Euro USD, I mean, just like moon, you know, liquidity taken. It didn't get over here, so it's like, okay, now watch it. We're going sideways, right? We're breaking down. And then you have liquidity targets, right? So it's like, okay, maybe this can break down. Maybe this can keep rocketing up. I don't know. But the R&R potential is insane, and you work it up, work it down. And it's just the same thing over and over again. Here's another example. Okay. All right. So major low, right? Okay. So now it's like, okay, so price just took a major low. So how many stop losses are anywhere in here? Okay. This person doing this. Trying to buy in random percentages. Right? And it's like, okay, doesn't matter what their strategy or opinion is, the chances are their stops are somewhere or they're under here. Okay, how do we know? Okay, now you're watching here, and it's like all of a sudden hits it, nice reaction. Stalling, stalling. We're going sideways. Possible accumulation. It doesn't have to look like a perfect schematic. It doesn't have to look like that. The point is it's going sideways. It's no longer falling. It's no longer doing this. And you've got idiots trying to click buy. No. It'll go sideways. It'll go sideways. Okay, so now you're watching it and waiting for it to go sideways. Okay, so this is the sideways action. This is what it looks like. Do y'all see the candles? Right? It's the same thing. Okay? It's just on the smaller time frames you can actually see the purchasing candles. Right? You got your type of doji sword looking thing, all of a sudden purchase candle, throw it down to the other purchase candle, throw it back up, hit it. Right? Type stops fat lots. Yes. But yeah, so but okay, so I do want to bring up Daniel here. He's been slaughtering GA, and he can break this down as well and show you more examples of small time frames. I know I don't think I can. Tim, are you able to?
Yep, I just made him co-host.
Oh, perfect. And then Daniel, if you want, you could throw it back if we have time, or you can go and you can teach more things. Y'all can ask questions in the chat, and I can type out things that you possibly don't understand. I truly believe I can explain things in like 10 different ways for it to click with you somehow. But I'll stop sharing, and Daniel, go for it.
All right, bet. So excited to provide some value on this. Jordan absolutely slayed it, showing you guys small time frames. First of all, guys, I just wanted to kind of break down why small time frame price action and getting that precise entry can actually benefit your account, right? So when we're actually looking at like two traders, and I've taught this on like one of the sessions as well. Let me get a blank sheet pulled up real quick. So let's consider two traders, right? We each have $1,000 in our account. All right. We're going to keep the risk the same. Let's just do 2% risk. So we're going to risk $20, right? So let's say trader number 1 has a 5 pip stop. Trader number 2 has a 15 pip stop.
Hey, Daniel, we can't see the shared screen.
Did it not share? All right, look. You can see now?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. So $1,000 account, 2% risk, which is $20. Trader number 1 is doing 5 pip stop. We'll keep the math easy and do 10 on the second. So the way of compounding the account, because remember, we're here to compound, not flip. I don't have a set lot size for my account. Like if I'm trading $1,000, some people are like, all right, I'm dropping 0.1s the entire time. My lot size is adjusted per my position and my stop each time. Okay. So if I'm trading $1,000 and I'm running a 5 pip stop, I know I'm willing to risk $20, right? So I can risk a total of 5 pips. We can do 2 lots or 0.2. So if we did $2 a pip, right? My math is wrong on that. Five divided by 20 is 2.5. All right, there we go. All right, so lot size number 1. And then if you take 10 divided by 20, same thing. 0.5. So on the first one, if we're doing 50 cents, that math is still wrong, isn't it? Hold on, guys. Jordan, are you still there?
What do you need?
Yeah. I was right. All right. Yeah, 20 divided by 5. Okay, there we go. So 20 divided by 5, trader number 1 is going to do $4 per pip, right? And then 20 divided by 10, trader number 2 is going to be doing $2 per pip, right? All right, so if we're doing it this way, so if trader number 1 is dropping that bigger lot size, right, doing $4 a pip, they're going to be compounding their account faster than what trader number 2 is, okay? So for every 5 pips that trader number 1 is catching, remember, they're catching 5 pips times $4 a pip, they're catching that 2% of their account each time. Okay, compared to trader number 2 has to accumulate a total of 10 pips each time to make that 20% or that 2%, that $20. So you can see whenever you get that smaller lot or that smaller stop in there, you're going to be compounding your account faster because you can drop bigger lots. Okay, so you're going to be compounding the account every 5 pips, 2%, compared to trader number 2 has to accumulate 10 pips to do 2%. So jumping back to actual charts to where it's like when you're jumping in, Jordan already went over actual EU. So let's jump into UCAD real quick. So small time frame, this setup here was easy. This was actually pre-interest and news and everything. We can see there were equal lows that needed to be taken out, okay? sitting here before we started dipping down before the actual news came out for the interest rates. If you break this down on a smaller time frame to where it actually came from, right? We're going to drop down to a 15 first. And I always do top-down analysis because I'm looking for that precise entry. Remember, the tighter your stop, the bigger lot you can do, the faster you're going to compound that account. So if we're looking at this actual, we see already back here in the past, we have our institutional candles, okay? Within here somewhere, we need to figure out where we're looking for that entry. And all this was a mitigation play. It literally came straight down, mitigated straight out of this, hit the top of that, cleared this small imbalance in here, right? Interest rate news came out and it shot up. That literally set up like right before news even came out. If you watched before these events come out, generally you'll see it'll start capturing liquidity and you can play off of news. Now, when you're looking at the next end, we were accumulating in here, right? Now, you're not always going to get these moves. I was waiting to clear all of this. We never came back. Like, we stayed bullish the entire time. But if you had this entry down here and you held, like you can see, we never came back to that entry. That was all pre-interest. And that's what news drove price up. GA, same thing. So starting on the 1 hour, we're peeping this here, okay? We see we've got liquidity building. We've got equal highs. We can break down up in here like smaller time frames and everything, keep backing it up until we find where we want to take that entry. We can see we've got an imbalance in here, right? Everything within this is balanced. This came back up, it balanced itself out. Now we've got a slight imbalance in here, and you can see it came up, just touched the top of it. Honestly, spread kept me out of this, so I didn't execute, but I did catch the second position here whenever we came up just to mitigate out and continue on, right? Now, playing the buy side of that, we knew that the target for this was the imbalance within this area. It came directly wick to wick on this imbalance, right? We knew after we started running here, this is the position that was called on bounce back for you guys. This position here was actually found on a 1 minute time frame. So there were actually two spots, okay? When this was building up, we knew that we were gonna go bullish, clear up some of this like price action within here. We're looking at this candle in here, okay? So we know that we had, our first entry was actually like within this area. I identified the slight imbalance in this one first. We got that first wick, okay? But we came back and it stopped me out. Remember I said I got stopped out like twice on this position? This was the first entry, stopped out. This was my next entry. And if you look at a 1 minute, it came down perfectly on this wick to where there was a slight imbalance in here, okay? So 1 minute price action right there, you could have entered here that type stop loss, right? And that was an easy like 75 pip move up real quick. Just looking for positions like that. Remember, the tighter the stop, the faster you're going to compound your account. I will allow myself to get stopped out twice before my final move takes, because I know that those 2 5-pip stops, I'm going to pay myself the rest of the 65 pips. I'm still up on the account overall. I'm compounding. But I'm still, I want those precise entries, because that's what's going to take me to compounding quickly. Okay. Another thing too, when you're dropping bigger lots, you can partial out of the position. So as you're running like in the move, you're up 30 pips, you can secure half of that position, partial out, and pay yourself stop loss break even, so that if it does come back and clap you again, at least you paid yourself before you got like stopped out, right? You're not always going to get the full move. My target for GA was the equal highs. Back up in here again. That was the initial target for this position, and we failed to receive that. Okay, but I still secured my partials and paid myself, so I was fine when the rest of it came back and stopped me out at break even, because I secured partials twice. So remember, on these moves, pay yourself, okay? look for, it's okay to, like, whenever you're going to execute these positions, drop down to lower time frames and run those tight stops to find the position, because you know that once you catch that move, you're going to be catching, you know, up to 100 pips. Another one on Euro CAD, this position was easy as well. Drop down to a lower time frame. We can see like all of this in here. It's just been building for the longest time. Okay. You can see where everything's coming back to the same areas. This position here was super simple as well. When you start breaking it down, you can see where we had the slide imbalance. Like everybody can clearly, you can see we came up, all of this is balance, 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 but what is this right here? Okay, we came directly back to that area. News event again. Easy, like, and you could have taken that position. Granted, we're still accumulating up here on Euro, but either way, you could have caught that. You knew that your target was here. That small time frame price action is like phenomenal, guys. Like, do your top down analysis, find what your targets are, and then take and find your position. Okay, I can see here that the institutions are playing. I'm going to take it. I'm going to identify first. We're just going to identify this. I want to see how we're going to react in here. And then I'm going to start taking and breaking it down. Now I'm going to drop down to a 15-minute. What in here can we react off of? All right, now I'm going off of this, the up move before the down move. All of this is already fixed. Up move before this down move. All right, now I'm looking at this area. I'm going to break it down further. 5-minute chart. What am I looking at now? Oh, look, all of this is healthy. You can see the institutions are playing. Now we've got our imbalance. There's our area of execution. Where's your stop? Tight stops right above the high. If it comes up back up in here, I'm looking for my next area that I'm going to execute. But being that all of this is like, looks fine, we shouldn't top that. But if it does, stop me out, because I want those tight stops so I can keep my lot size the way I want it whenever it does finally take that position. Like, even if you set a limit there with spread and everything, you would have been executed. Again, it's still reacting off of that same area. Okay, so you can see like that was easy. Those are the three main trades that I really looked at this week. I've been just keeping my eyes on GBP pairs, Euro especially, with everything that's occurring in the economy. And guys, just remember, like, keep this in mind, okay? I always adjust. The math took a second, but adjust your lot size after you figure out what your stops are. Okay, all you've got to do is take the dollar amount you're willing to risk, divide it by your stop loss, and it's going to tell you how many dollars per pip. We know that this obviously translates to a 0.4. Okay, so this is going to get you compounding faster. Again, $4 times 5, you're accumulating that $20 each time, compared to this trader here has to accumulate 10 pips to get $20. I'm compounding faster than that other trader because I was patient. I looked for that precise entry. This was actually another one on Euro. I'm not sure if Jordan discussed this one. I know he took this position here, which was super simple as well. Like, he already went over. You could see that we had, like, we didn't really come all the way up into the imbalance, but we came back up into that area again, right above these wicks, stop above the high. Did the same thing here. You can see where the imbalance is. And then as you take and break it down further, you can really just get in there and find, like, all right, where's the precise entry? This is one that you would honestly have to, like, be watching price action if you're looking for the proper risk to reward. This first position would have entered you, but again, we came up even higher. Honestly, like, if I would have set a limit on this, I would have got stopped out. So this is one that you would have had to been paying attention to. Watch price action as it gets up into this area, how we're reacting, how we break down, and you could, like, snipe that position easily. And then boom, like, ran down. You can see that we've got all of this imbalance in here too, that we still have failed to come back to. So it's like everything's just building. Be patient in the markets. Like, don't rush into trades. That's the biggest thing, is like, taking a position too soon is just as bad as taking a wrong position, you know? You don't want to be holding like drawdown and stuff. Make sure that you're paying attention to what's occurring. Make sure you're paying attention to your active trading times. And guys, I would stick to just like, a lot of people try to trade, you know, every pair that's out there. Find like 3 pairs that you enjoy, 3 pairs that you can just read, analyze, that you're consistent on and precise, and stick to them, because that's how you're going to consistently compound your account and pay yourself. Okay, there's no reason to be all over the charts. I know that, like, you know, there's trade ideas that are sent out, all of that. Obviously, go keep them. See if you analyze, see if you agree with them before taking and executing the position. Anytime you take a trade from anybody who sends a trade idea, you should be going and analyzing it yourself. Okay, not only just to see if you agree, but to understand what they're seeing like in the market. Go and break it down on like a naked chart. Like completely new, erase your chart, start over, and then see if your analysis like compares to theirs before you actually execute the position. But overall, just be patient. Like, don't rush into a move. Wait for that accurate like price. I mean, we can already see like even in here, that's going to be interesting when we get up to that area. And just all of this is building. I'm still short on euro with everything that's occurring. Honestly, I'm short on like the entire market right now, but we won't get into all of that. Does anybody have like questions? See if I can pull up the chat real quick, because I want to ensure like everybody should be eating off of this, especially with the opportunities that are presented now. Everything that's occurring in the economy, like there's absolutely no reason why you guys shouldn't be able to like execute these positions and be compounding your accounts. Like we're margin traders for a reason. We can short and buy the market. No matter what's occurring in the economy, we can make money from it as long as you know how to read and analyze all of this. If you're struggling, reach out to somebody who understands what they're doing, please, because closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't speak up and let us know there's something you're not understanding, like there's no way for us to help you because we don't know. So EU, I mean, we've got like all this ton of inefficiency here for imbalance, all of this down in here. Like with everything that's just occurring, you've got to remember, pay attention to news, because news is really what's, you know, going to be driving these markets right now. There's so much fear going on. You know, people are just dumping stuff, don't know what to do, especially in all of the economies with the coronavirus, all of that. So you've really got to be like wary of trading right now. Protect your account. Please don't go into like tons amount of drawdown, close out positions. Let's see what else there is real quick. Okay, so yeah, top down again. We'll run back through that again. What pair is that? Euro. And really, it's just starting off on the bigger time frames. Like I said, find overall what you're targeting. Again, the up move before the down move. That's our target area. Before any of this happened, we can see obviously like before that wick happened, we've got imbalance all in here. This is balanced. This already took, like everything's balanced, right? So breaking it further down into that 15, looking for that precise area. The total imbalance is in here. We did come back up into this, but like I said, this was that one position that you would have to be actively watching at the time. Okay. This is the actual imbalanced area, and then breaking it further down. I mean, you can drop into smaller time frames. Overall, you're going to kind of get that same area though. And then this was, like I said, just a news event. I don't even know where we just went. This was just a news event that drove price. Same thing on that USD CAD. Remember, this was just the interest rate change. That should always be part of your analysis as well. Like all of you should, if you're looking at a pair, you should always be on Forex Factory. And I've got mine filtered. So I've only got like red and green folders. I'm sorry, red and orange folders, because they're the important ones. You can come in here and like take off the others. But yeah, be paying attention to what news is coming out on your pairs, what times. because that can be like, you can find setups all throughout that. Can you go over stop loss again? I didn't get to write it down. So yeah, stop loss. Let me run through that again. Let me read through these questions real quick. Okay, so yeah, let's run back through this real quick. All right. So again, let's say two traders are trading. We both have $1,000 account, right? We're willing to risk 2% of the account, which we know 2% is going to be that $20. So if trader number one is running that, we'll just do we'll change it up. Let's do a 10 pip and a 20 pip. So trader number one, again, running that 10 pip stop, and then trader number two running that 20 pip stop. All right, so trader number one, you're going to take your dollar amount and divide it by, boom, the amount you're willing to risk. That's going to tell you your lot size, which is going to be $2 per pip, which we know translates to a 0.2. Okay, trader number two is going to do 20 divided by 20. Okay, and remember, this is just the dollar amount you're willing to risk divided by the pip amount you're willing to risk, or your stop loss, which is going to be $1. We know $1 when we put it into lot size is just a 0.1. And again, trader number one, as he accumulates 10 pips times $2 a lot, he just made $20. Trader number two has to accumulate, or we can even just do when he accumulates 10 pips. All right, so 10 pips times, actually this is $2. 10 pips times $1 a lot, you can see that he only made $10. He had a bigger stop loss, so he had to drop to, in order to stick to his 2% risk, he had to drop his lot size down because he went in with a larger risk. Okay, so remember, the faster or the bigger lot, the tighter stop, the faster you're going to compound that account. Yeah, volatile pairs like U30 and stuff. When you're trading indices, to be honest, you're not going to be running 5 pip stops. Like, it is extremely difficult, you know, on volatile pairs. You can still be running like tight stuff, but overall it's not going to be like 5 pips. But with what you're catching on that volatile pair, like for instance, I mean, U30, we had 2400 pip move, right? So even if you're risking like 100 pips, you're catching 2400. But you've got to remember, then, I mean, most of the time you've got to find a high leverage broker that's going to allow you to even drop, you know, different lot sizes on it. So honestly, like, all of this is more relevant for like Forex pairs. GBP odd, that's one that stops for me on this are usually like 10 to 15 pips, just because it does have bigger swings. It's more volatile, right? But I'm also shooting for more pip growth. So overall, that risk to reward for me is still like large, right? So you've got to be, like I said, shooting for more pips, because if it's more volatile, you should be making more. Yeah, dollar amount. So back to this again, the dollar amount you're willing to risk. So we'll say dollar risk divided by pip risk. Risking $20, which is 2%, risking 10 pips. That's going to tell you the dollar amount of your lot size. Remember, you've still got to convert it to your actual lot size. (15-second time frame). Yeah, so even this would be, I mean, generally most of the time, so on U30, when I'm breaking it down, I'm going all the way to 1 minute and I'm stopping myself out within like 30, 40 pips. just because like once it gets to those positions, you're really looking for like that precise entry. It's extremely like you've really got to drop down far. I mean, you can see Jordan's on a 15-second chart here, and it's still like a good, that stop is huge. 30 pips still. So yeah, just on your volatile pairs, jump on our New York lives. Catch the positions with us. Any more questions before I jump off? Use me at your disposal. Ask now. How would you measure pips? So there's actually a tool that you can use. So you can either use this and measure, right? And again, like that's 74 pips. Or you can just like calculate it yourself. So every fifth number in any pair that you're looking at is going to be like your pip. Okay. I'm not sure if how far you are with that. The tool is generally easier, but yeah, the fifth number in any pair. Oh, stop. Is going to be the pip. So if you're adjusting for like a 7 pip stop, 2.5 would go up to 3.2. So you add 7 pips to 25 to get 32. You minus 35 pips from 25 to get 90. That's for a sell position. And just remember, like, that's the actual pip. So if you're calculating on like, this would be like a Euro pair here. This would be like a JPY pair, fifth number. So this is going to be the 5. The 2 and the Euro pair is going to be the pip. Looking at both of those, if that 2 goes up to a 3, or if that 2 goes down to a 1, that's 1 pip. If that 5 goes up to a 6, or that 5 goes down to a 4, that's 1 pip. And then you're just calculating. Remember, if you're like on bigger time frames, obviously like stuff is going to be larger pip wise. I mean, even that's like 50 pip move right there. As you get further down, you're going to be able to actually find where you're going to be able to stop yourself out faster. You could have taken that. Questions. That's all I've got for you guys. Like I said, just pay attention for everything that's kind of like occurring right now. Keep your tight stop, or your stops tight.
Vesper, my man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hopping on, bro. You legit did not have to, and just that servant leadership again from you two is we're extremely appreciative. Guys, get into the bounce back courses. They are going live 3 times a week. They go live 5 times a week in the regular go live, but having to be, what's really nice is when I get the message on Pip Talk, it's like new sniper bounce back trade idea. And I'm like, oh, it's game time, right? So get plugged in with them. Their sessions are phenomenal. If you're not taking advantage of that, you're really, really, really playing yourself. And so I'm super happy and grateful. We've been going now for over, I believe, over 2 hours, 2 hours and 20 minutes. And so if you guys are feeling ready, if this was worth it, if this week worth of training really put you into a place to excel and put you into a place to allow you to accept what's about to occur, go crazy in the chats, blow it up, get excited. New York is going to be amazing. I am still going. If my flight's canceled, I'm renting a car. I do not care. I am coming. There's no ifs, ands, or buts for me. So I'll see you guys in New York. I'll see you guys on the March Madness seminar. And guys, I'll see you walking across that stage as chairman.